A very good evening to all brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. So today is Tuesday, 29 August 2023. We'll continue our sharing from this book, the wonderful Lotus Sutra. We are at page 470. Then as usual, we'll have our physical puja. Let us gather. Let us now compose our mind, develop the faith, saddha, virya. Then mindfully we shall commence the puja offering. Namo本师释迦牟尼佛。Namo本师释迦牟尼佛。Namo本师释迦牟尼佛。Namo观世音菩萨。Namo观世音菩萨。南无观世音菩萨，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛，南无弥勒佛，南无弥勒佛，南无弥勒佛，南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨。南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨。阿拉汉萨玛萨布多巴嘎瓦，布当巴嘎วันตัง阿比瓦德米。Swakato bhagavata dhammo dhammang namasami Supatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho sanghang namami Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Buddhaṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi Dhammaṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi Saṅghāṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi Dutiyampi Dhammaṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi Dutiyampi Saṅghāṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi Tatiyampi Dhammaṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi Tatiyampi Saṅghāṃ Saraṇaṃ Gacchāmi Pāṇātipaṭā Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyāmi Ādinādāna Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyāmi Kāmesu Micchācārā Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyāmi Musāvādā Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyāmi Surameraya Majjapamadatthāna Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyāmi. Then the page 3 of the chanting book. We shall continue with our puja chanting, starting from Padipa Puja. Padipa Puja. Ganna Sarapaditena Dipena Tamadang Sina Tiloka Dipang Sambuddhang Pujayami tamonudang Ganda sambarayutena Diupena hang sugang hina Pujaye pujaniyang tang Puja bhajana mutamang Vanna ganda guno petang Etang kusuma santatin Pujayami munindasa Siri pada sarorohe Puje mi buddhang kusumena nena Punnena matena cha hotu mokhang Pupang milayati yata idang me Kayo tata yati vinasa bhavang Adivase tu no bante Paniyang parikapitang Anukampang upadaya Patigan hatu mutamang Adivase tu no bante Pale parikapitang Anukampang upadaya Patigan hatu mutamang Adivase tu no bante Bojanang parikapitang Anukampang upadaya Patigan hatu mutamang. Now we'll chant the puja aspiration based on our understanding of the significance of all these puja offerings. Significance offering of light. May this offering of light to the Buddha brings forth the causes and conditions to illuminate our mind and help arise the needed clarity and understanding to dispel all darkness or ignorance therein. Significance of offering of water. May this offering of pure, clear, cool water lead us to the pure, clear Dhamma that cools and doses off the fires of defilements within our heart. Significance of offering of incense. May our morality, virtue, and understanding shine forth far and wide, just like the fragrance of this incense, which we are offering to the Blessed One, who is perfect in wisdom and virtue. Then significance of offering of fruits. May this offering of fruits remind us of the dana parami or generosity and the fruit of our karma, so that we will diligently strive on with heedfulness to attain the path and fruition as soon as possible. Significance of offering of flowers. May this constant offering of flowers to the Blessed One strengthen our faith and constantly remind us of the impermanence of this body, so that we will diligently and sincerely strive on to cultivate Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, leading to ultimate liberation, the born-free Nibbana. Making of overall aspiration. By the power of all these merits, born of these offerings, may our spiritual faculties of Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, and Panya be further strengthened until they become balas or powers. Sharing and transfer of merits to all beings. May these merits be shared and transferred to all beings without exception, especially to those who have the condition and affinity to receive them. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let us pay respect to Puja. Buddhang pujayami. Dhammang pujayami. Sanghang pujayami. Meditation is very important because it's to enable cultivator of the way to develop the awareness within. This awareness, nature within, is your true mind, your silent mind, your meditative mind. And that is what sati is all about. Sati is just translated as mindfulness. So mind in fullness without thought, that is mindfulness. But the moment you are without thought, you are already mindful or aware. So this understanding is very important. Without thought means your nature within is just aware before the thinking, before the knowing, before the perception. So that's the reason why to do this, to develop this awareness nature within, we need the four support, especially the first three. The first support that allow you to settle down, to become aware, is just relax. When you are able to relax body and mind without allowing the thinking to arise, that step one is a very powerful support. Just relax. No need to do anything. Don't try to know, don't try to do, just relax body and mind. Relax means at ease. No more issue. Body and mind at ease. Without stress, without tension, without problem. It is just in a state of complete relax. Then after that, maintain awareness. Just aware. Before the knowing, aware. Finish. Whatever arises within your sixth sense door, whether it's the hearing contact, or smell, taste, tactile, or even thinking, you just aware, finish. Don't try to continue with the thinking. The moment you are aware, if possible, before you perceive what that thing is. Because the moment you perceive, you lost your awareness. The thought, the aggregates of mind starts to arise already. Then because of habitual tendency, our lack of understanding and training, immediately when you perceive, your brain will operate. Means that perception comes from memory. So memory has all these views, opinion, conditioning, belief system, and all those things. So you will immediately stir your mind or create the movement within your mind. We call it the mental activity. It can be your like and dislike, pleasant and unpleasant sense experience, or your fear, your phobia, or your whatever emotion. Because as a human being, we have the sixth sense basis. Upon contact of mind with the sense basis, we can give rise to our sixth type of correspondent thought activity or thought consciousness. We have the eye as an organ. That's why we can be conscious of our seeing. So seeing consciousness can arise. And hearing consciousness can also arise. Likewise, smell, taste, tactile, and thought process. Or we call it the thought consciousness. So you can become conscious of what happened at the sense basis. But whatever happened, immediately after you become conscious, normally your memory will go and perceive it very fast. Then all the activity, the movement, the proliferation of thinking or thought process, the chattering, the habitual mental activity, they will manifest. So this is how one becomes heedless. That's why human being, you think a lot, is because that so-called mental activity of thinking chattering, verbalization has become so habitual over a long period. So this habitual tendency is what creates all the habitual thinking. And it developed into powerful habitual tendency that will condition the living being to continuously repeat all this movement. It's like mechanical, no need to do anything, like automatic, mechanical. So to meditate, to develop the inner awareness, is to reverse all this whole process. But to ask you not to think, you will find it very difficult. So what I have taught you is the 4 support. The first 3 is very important. So the first one is a relaxed body and mind, so no more thinking, relax. Then whatever that arises from your senses, it can be through your hearing, smell, taste, tactile, thought, or seeing. Immediately you become conscious, finish. Means the moment you are conscious means that pure awareness, you aware, finish. No need to continue. Initially maybe you can't stop it because the habitual tendency to perceive is so fast, so habitual. So never mind. After you become conscious, the perception will move in. Observe this. The moment you perceive, don't continue with the thinking and all those things. Just aware. Aware, perceive, finish. Also can. But later on when you become skillful, you can just continuously maintain awareness. Aware, aware, aware. Means every moment of sense or consciousness, you just aware, aware, aware. So by doing this, you actually stabilize your awareness nature. No more thinking. No more thinking means no more thought activity. Then this is a very good way to decondition the heedless thinking that living beings used to do when they are in the midst of activity in life. So meditative training is to reverse all this. So when you are just relaxed, aware, there is no thinking. Then number 3, the third support is maintain this what they call ability to be aware. Stabilize it means continuously develop it and allow it to stabilize until you are most of the time just aware, aware, aware. Then as you cultivate this way, your mind, your mind will naturally settle down. Means all of your movement or activity of sankhara activity which you have developed before you start your meditation, they will like starts to slow down, slow down, slow down, until finally there is no more thinking. Then you will come to realize a state which is very quiet, very tranquil, and very still. We call that the sudden shift in consciousness. The consciousness that is chattering, verbalizing, thinking, perceiving has become completely no more. When this happens, means there is no more thought activity or movement, no more perception. Then the sudden shift that arises will allow your awareness nature to perceive it. You like suddenly become very quiet, very still. Then you realize this is different. But the moment you realize this is different, the thought has already come out. So don't be surprised, don't be curious, just aware. Let whatever happen arise and maintain awareness. Just be with it. Relax, aware, means allow the awareness to stabilize. So the first 3 steps is very important. Ability to relax both body and mind, then ability to maintain awareness over a long period, to stabilize this awareness, which is the 3rd step. So once the awareness nature has been stabilized, that meditative mind is there. That is your awareness nature, and that is also your true mind, your silent mind. So use that to meditate. To meditate means to be aware of what is going on within the moment. Means the silent observation. Through this silent observation, because you are completely silent without thought, you are mindful, you are aware, then the direct seeing can arise. That mind, which is in that meditative state of awareness, can see things as they are, can insight into phenomena and awaken. And through that silent observation, he can also develop wisdom and understanding to come to know clearly how you function as a human being. What is this form and mind all about? Then you will come to know who are you, what are you. All this understanding is possible, and they are very important. Then you will see all the essential Dhamma as taught by the Buddha within your own form and mind, with this sati or mindfulness that you have developed. Then the 4th support for those who have stabilized them is trust. Trust your nature to develop the internal movement, the meditative internal movement. So this trust you don't have to do now, unless you have already stabilized your awareness nature. Then you can actually go to your heart there and silence everything. Then don't do anything. Just let the nature to move and detect the gateway. When it detects the gateway, you will know. Then something will happen. Then while you are in that state of awareness, staying around the heart area, you become very sensitive. And you can pick up a lot of so-called activity, especially vibration. Initially, you can become so sensitive that you can pick up your heartbeat. The vibration of the heartbeat like very gross, very loud, pounding. But as you maintain awareness, just let it be with it, and let the awareness and the heartbeat move as one. Then it will slow down until it becomes very quiet, very still, like towards the later part. No more heartbeat. Actually, it's very subtle. Then that time your mind will start to enter sati, because it has developed the more refined mindfulness to enable you to detect all the very subtle movement or activity. Then wherever you locate this awareness, it is sensitive. It can detect whatever vibration within your heart area, the heartbeat or whatever, it can detect. So silent, relax, maintain awareness, stabilize it, then allow that nature to move, to develop the activity and the movement. Then this movement and activity, as long as you continue to be aware, one day when you are truly relaxed and your Dhamma understanding is already very stable, then something will happen. Then you will either awaken, understand, or it will detect the gateway. Then when it detects the gateway, something very marvelous and amazingly beautiful will happen. So the cultivator of the way who go through that process, they will know. Then if you are able to develop that, my nature rejoices with you, then you can share your experience or whatever that you have gone through. And I will explain to you further what this thing is and how to develop it. And many things will happen. Okay, you all can slowly, mindfully come out of your meditation. Try to maintain whatever inner awareness, inner peace, inner tranquility that you have developed for as long as you can. These are the meditative mind states that you need to enable you to meditate in the midst of life or develop the daily mindfulness to be aware, leading to heedfulness. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe, in the entirety, let the deities or Devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which gives heaven and release. Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chakawalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddhamang Munirajasa Sunantu Sakamokadang Dhamma Svanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Svanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Svanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Iti peso bhagava arahang sama sambuddho Vijacarana sampanno sugato lokavido Anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati Satta deva manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipasiko Opanayiko Pajatang Veditapo Vinohiti Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ujupatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Nyayapatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Samicipatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Yadidang Chatari Purisa Yukani Atta Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anutarang Punyang Ketang Lokasati. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, now we'll continue from where we stopped. Turn to page 470 of this book. The wonderful Dhamma Lotus Flower Sutta, Volume 3, Chapter 2, Expedient Device by Master Hsuan. Okay, now we go to the Sutra part. Those who, for the Buddhas, have erected images, carvings, or their myriads of marks, have realized the Buddha way. They may have used the 7 gems, or bronze, or copper, white or red, wax, lead, or tin, ironwood or clay, or perhaps lacquer cloth in making Buddha images. Persons such as this have realized the Buddha way. Then there is the outline, explaining the opening and revealing with regards to construction of Buddha Rupang or images. The commentary. Those who for the Buddha have erected images means those who as an offering to the Buddha have build or make all these images. Either is by carving or there are myriads of marks, means all of the 5 characteristics of the Buddha of the 10 directions have realized the Buddha way, means they have become Sama Sambuddhas. So when it comes to marks, the 5 character or characteristics of the Buddha normally is written in the Sutta, especially the Theravada Sutta. They call it the unique hallmark of the Buddha. He has the 32 hallmarks, and I forgot whether it's 80 or 84 minor characteristics or marks. So this one, they are actually inside the teaching. So all these people who build all these so-called Buddha Rupang or images, they must have understanding of all this. That's why when they do all the carving or whatever, they must be able to input into their Buddha Rupang or images all these so-called hallmarks or characteristics. And this, according to this sutta, if you are those who have for the Buddha erected or built or carved such images or Buddha Rupang, they actually have great merits. Then according to this one, by carving all their myriads of marks, means all of the 5 characteristics of the Buddhas of the 10 directions, they have realized the Buddha way, means they have become Buddhas. So this is something that cultivator of the way can also develop the understanding of how virtuous and important this so-called activities is all about. Okay, we read on. They may have used the 7 gems. So at that time, during the time of the Buddhas, the 7 gems are gold, silver, lapis, lazuli, crystal, mother of pearl, repose, or carnelian. Then also or bronze or copper, white or red, wax, lax, or tin, iron, wood, or clay, or perhaps lacquer cloth in making the Buddha images. Persons such as these have realized the Buddha way. Means there are 7 kinds of meritorious virtue derived from building all this carving and making of the Buddha rupang or images. That's why they call it the 7 gems. The first kind of meritorious virtue that you will develop is in every life you will have clear vision because of what you did. And actually for those who have this virtue to build Buddha rupang and images, they have their past, otherwise they cannot do it. They are very skillful, they have faith, and they have the understanding, and they like to do. And all this come about because it's mentioned in the sutta. These are the meritorious virtue or benefits that they will develop. So first one is, in every life you will have clear vision. Then number 2, the meritorious virtue is, you will not be born in the evil planes or evil woeful states. Means the 4 willful states, like hell, animal kingdoms, or what they call hungry ghost realm, and there's the other demon realms. Then your friends and neighbor will all be good people. You will not meet up with evil people or evil beasts. So this type of meritorious virtue is very beautiful. So people who like all this, they must have many lives, or life after life, do this type of work. The third meritorious virtue is, you will always be born in a noble family. You will be born into a householder, or household which is wealthy and honored. This one I think a lot of people like. That's why actually some of them, they make aspiration to actually life after life to build all this. Then the 4th meritorious virtue is, your body will be purple, golden in color. I think this one is, I don't think you will be born in purple, golden color. This one is, there is a meaning there. I don't know what it means. So this is according to Hsuan. Maybe it's a spiritual explanation behind. Purple is violet, and golden is the enlightenment color of wisdom. After reading these 2, it reminds me of what my nimitta is. My nimitta is purple, violet. Then golden is the wisdom light. When you have developed the enlightenment, the wisdom, of course, wisdom will also give rise to virtue and all those things. So the golden color, that one is the color of the aura or the enlightenment aura of the enlightened being. So this one is the golden aura, golden color. Then purple must be something also linked to all this cultivation and development. Okay. Then number 5, the 5th, what they call unique meritorious virtue that you will receive is you will possess an abundance of wealth. Means all these people who do all this one will be very wealthy. I think also maybe they donate a lot towards the building of the Buddha Rupang, the stupa and all those things, the temple and all those things. Number 6, you will be born in a worthy and good family. All these are very good virtue. Then you can be born a king. Now there is no king or emperor, but you could be the president. It amounts to the same thing. Or if you insist on being an emperor, you can find a country with a monarchy and be born there. This one, the way I look at it is different. Different. Because during the time of the Buddha, in the early days, before civilization evolved until nowadays, where we have different type of governments, we no longer go by the old way of ruling or governing, where you either have a king or a monarch or an emperor. Like in China, they always call it the emperor Huangdi. He is also like the king. But some smaller version, they call it Raja, or just a very small king. Then of course our country, we call it the Sultan. And every 4 or 5 years, I think they elect the Agong to be the head of state and all this thing. So all these are society of the early days. But nowadays, they tend to dismantle all the king, the monarch, the so-called rulers, and form a democratic government, or they call it in the name of democracy. So some, they are ruled by president. Then below the president, you have the prime minister and all these things. Then for ours, is a more unique system, our country. We have the constitutional monarch. We have the monarchy still intact, but the constitution is more supreme than the monarch. So the constitutional monarch is a very unique setup, where you still recognize the king, the sultan, the monarch, and all these things. So coming to this virtue, the way I look at it is, it is in the ancient day, olden day, where this king or the ruler or the sultan or what we call the emperor, they are mostly very wealthy. If not, they should be the richest person in that country or that state. So because of that, they tend to have the merits to sponsor all this type of project, to build all the temple, the Buddha Rupang, the carvings and whatever. And because they partake in all this, and they are the main driver and they are the main sponsor, so because of that, most of them will have a chance to be born as king or emperor in that sense. So not so much for the so-called president. Like recently, I think Singapore is having a presidential election. Their president is not like the United States or America, very powerful. Their president is to do specific function for the state. But the power lies in the cabinet or in the what they call the prime minister and his cabinet, or member of parliament that elect the one with the highest support from the members within the parliament. They call it parliamentary democracy. So all these people, they are not interested in building all this type of thing on. Do you agree? You think the Prime Minister, the President, are more interested in building all this? They are interested in running politics and ruling and doing all the political things. So this one, I think, are mainly referring to kings. Okay, then we move on number 8. Oh, this one is very great. The 8th virtue, you can be a wheel-turning sage king. That is even higher than being a president. As a wheel-turning sage king, if you cultivate, you can become a Sammasambuddha. Then number 9 is you can be born in the Brahma heavens or Brahma realm and live very long, for aeons. These are usually the Brahma realms that develops all the jhanas, and they have, according to the what they call the Theravada's teaching, the 31 plane of existence. The Brahma rhyme, they have 16 rhymes. So 16 rhymes. They are beings that take birth there after they have developed jhanas. First jhana, second jhana, third jhana, or fourth jhana. So these are the Brahma rhymes. And you can also develop the merits. There are a lot of people, they like to be born there. Then you can be a king among the heavens or gods. Then the 10th meritorious virtue is you will not fall into the evil. This one we have dealt before. Those who make Buddha Rupang or images will not fall into the hell rhyme, the animal rhyme, the rhyme of hungry ghost. This one I have shared just now. I think earlier on there is already mentioned. Then the last meritorious virtue is in future incarnation, you will still be able to revert the triple gem. You will be able to take refuge in the triple gem. You will not fall. So actually the word incarnation is not so appropriate. In future rebirth, it should be rebirth. Then hearing this 11 meritorious virtue, if we have the strength, we should make more Buddha images. If you make Buddha images, your appearance will be perfect and full. Why is the Buddha's appearance so perfect? It is because during the 3 great Asankhaya Kappas or aeons, he cultivated the way. He made countless Buddha Rupang or images. So this one is according to this sutta. But could be because you look at the Jataka story of Sakyamuni Buddha. He actually became king in many lives. And he has also cultivated the 10 perfection. So all these object of venerations, the 4 object of veneration, especially the relics, which is the building of the stupa, the Buddha Rupang, the Buddha image. Yeah? So, of course, the Bodhi tree is one of them because he got enlightened underneath the Bodhi tree. Yeah? So these are the things that they were built. That's why you will pay respect or veneration to them. So as we chant before, Vandami Chetiyang Sabbam. So the Chetiya, then Sabba Tanesu Patitetang Saririke Dhatu Mahapohim Buddha Rupang Sakalang Sada. So the Chetya, the relics, the Buddha Rupang, and the Bodhi tree, these are the four objects of veneration. So most of the time throughout India, at that time, after the Parinibbana of Sakyamuni Buddha, they actually built all these Chetyas, temples, with all the images and other things. That's why now you will start to understand why the early civilization, you remember when we were in China, when we visited all these holy places or way places, almost everywhere, the images of Buddha, great beings, everything, everywhere you can see, and Chetyas, Pagoda, all those things. They are the what they call remains that you can see where they last very long. And within all these Chetyas and temple and various way place, they have all these images that can also receive the energy or vibration of great beings and enlightened beings. Then all this together with the relics, which are the crystals of enlightened being after they pass away, parinibbana, through cremation, you will have them. We call it the relics. And these are relics with a lot of wisdom energy or vibration, but some of it are not. Some of it are just we call jhana energy or concentration, samatha, concentration type of thought-based energy. They can also form relics, very beautiful. So there are two types. But most people, when they develop samadhi, unless they go the enlightenment cultivation, the energy that they develop is a byproduct of the cultivation. So byproduct means those who develop the correct awareness nature samadhi, that samadhi is together with the wisdom that is developed through the sati or mindfulness or the direct seeing. That type of energy is very different, very beautiful, very, very useful and ever radiating for the cultivator of the way. But the other one is concentration type of energy that can allow you to develop jhana or those things. That's why you go certain places with that type of energy, you feel very calm very fast. So these are what they call thought-based energy or jhana, samatha energy that has been developed. Then when they pay respect, they bow, they radiate. This energy also go in. That's why most of the Buddha Rupang, they are made of, just now they call the 7 type of gems or metal. Because even crystals, they can store all this energy, whether it's thought-based energy, jhana energy, or wisdom energy. They can store them. All these vibrations are different, very fine. So because of that, actually our planet is very blessed. Almost everywhere you go, you can see them. But of course, there are other religions that believe in their own gods and all those things, like in India, in the West, they have their church and all those things. Actually, all of these religious way places, even the Muslim one, they have their energy. Because this energy comes from their chanting, their meditation, and whatever they do with virtue, understanding, kindness, goodness, wholesomeness, love and compassion and all those things. That's why you visit all these places when you are traveling. You can sense them. Sometimes I happen to have the condition to travel to Europe, but I visited a lot of these old buildings, very ancient. They call it what? Church building or cathedral and all those things. Some are very ancient. If you have the sensitivity, you can feel a lot of things inside there, but different. The one with the relics, all those things, one is different again. So it depends on one's ability, cultivation. But whatever it is, like I always say, all religion actually, they have a common, what they call a common goal. And most of them is to teach people goodness, love, compassion. Means you should not develop all the evil character, negativity of mind states that can lead to harm, killing, suffering, and all those things. That's why most of them have either the precepts to guide them or commandments. So all these are common. Avoiding evil, do good, then developing the faith, some through belief system, some through faith to develop the cultivation. And whether how ultimate the teaching is depend on the particular religion, the teacher behind and all these things. So this more or less explain the thing. Okay, we go back to the sharing page. So it's mentioned during Sakyamuni's time when he cultivated for 3 3/4 Asankhya Kapas, almost 4 Asankhya Kapas. He made countless Buddha Rupang. So, of course, you don't have to become a craftsman. So, no, you can become like the emperor or the king or whatever, or a wealthy person to sponsor the building of Buddha Rupang, Buddha images and all those things. And those who help out, those who donate, make offerings, and those who pay respect and contributed to all this, like what we actually get to partake. You remember Anandagiri or not? Ajahn Achalo is a very, very good monk that is like gifted in the building of Buddha Rupang image. He can do it very well, you know. He can design, plan, although he is not an engineer, but he do all this so well. You know. That's why I can see in him. And we got the opportunity and condition to partake. Then we go for Katina and all things. Then we sponsor a lot of his projects, you know, and these are very beautiful projects, you know. He even built a stupa, I think, in the last few years. The stupa was very beautiful. It's completed, I think, Kamita also went, my daughter also went. So, a lot of us also been there before. And you look at the way he built his temple, monastery, even the beginning stage. I remember the mini stupa on the platform on the hilltop there. They were so beautiful. Yeah. Then he also have the Kuan Yin, all those things. So people who have that parami or gifted in that field, that's why he would like to do all this. That's why he has his parami. Then we all also have special affinity with him. And because of that, we get to rejoice in all this wholesomeness. Partake, we donated quite a lot. And all these are very wholesome. And through all this, you actually become part of the whole thing. I remember the special platform. The platform where we have the Kuan Yin Rupang, remember? Initially, he knew he has to build that one. Then, in between, before he start, he got some, not really doubt. He got some question that he need to answer. Because, like he told me, he wrote to me actually. He said, Thailand is a Buddhist country, so Theravada tradition. The temple given our offer to him is Theravada tradition. So, how can he just build a Kuan Yin image, Rupang there? Then, later on, as the work progressed, he built another one, Maitreya. Then he realized, in Thailand, how can you have Kuan Yin, Maitreya, don't have Sakyamuni? That's why he put Sakyamuni in the middle. But it turned out to be beautiful because he may not know what are the significance of this. Well, actually, this sasana, my nature actually knew. This sasana of Sakyamuni is very unique one. He is being supported by Kuan Yin and Maitreya. Where these two great beings came to me actually and helped me in one of them make the request for me to come out to share, and Kuan Yin actually guided me and helped me in the cultivation and all those things. So all this is like meant to be, So when he suggested that thing, he wrote to me, I straight away write back to him. I say, go ahead. I say, you are good in all this and it's meant to be. Yeah, I told him the first time I went to Anandagiri, the first visit when I saw him, he just got a temporary, what we call, that sala hall, the hall where he just built with, I think, very simple roof and all those things, where they have the first, you call what? The first building that have the images all inside there. What hall?
Shrine hall.
Shrine, I think shrine. It's not a Sima hall yet, not so big. So he got only that building there, with the whole side of it. So we happened to be on a spiritual trip. I remember that was the first trip with Cindy and the husband Mosit. So Mosit told me, Bertil, I take you one place. You will like it. He said, this monk very nice. He said, they got a piece of land offered by what is the name already? The Thai guy that offered the piece of land. Kun Son or what? I forgot already. He also got the organic farm one, remember? Where we went there and stay and have our meal. So he offered that piece of land to Acharya Chalo. Then he was helping Acharya Chalo to build the Mosin, to build that thing. So he said in 8 months or so after the land was offered, he managed to finish that shrine or sala, whatever it is. Then he asked me whether we want to visit. I said, is it on the way? He said, yeah, it's on the way. Then I said, okay, we go. That's how the affinity come to be. Then when I was there, very strange, we actually want to leave already. Then he suggested, you all got time or not? You don't mind I take you around and show you the whole place, he said. Then, because we still have time, he said, okay, that will be good, fine. So that's how it happened, that everything fall into place. Then what happened was, when I was there, that first trip, when we came out, we were about to go back already. Then I looked into that shrine. I saw one small Kuan Yin hanging outside that somewhere the window there. Yeah, there is one. Then suddenly the vision came, and tell me through my nature that it would be good if this place can have a Kuan Yin Rupa, because this place need. That's why I wrote back, I said, you better do. You have that ability and all those things. Then you have the parami, and Kuan Yin's nature is there, and they really want it. That's why that platform, from there, he started. Then he said he will do it. Then I said, you don't worry about the fund. We will sponsor. So initially, almost the whole platform and that thing, we sponsor. Then later on, he mentioned about Maitreya, we also sponsor. Then finally, Sakyamuni, we also. Then that year, when he completed, he invited all of us, the Kayamita, you remember, to go there, and he asked Joy to actually get us all to practice for, I think, 3 months, the chanting of the Tabejo, Heart Sutta, and the Mahakaraniya, or the other one, the chanting, where we need to do a lot of time, and we had to practice. So we did it, and on that day, when we went there, the rehearsal the night before, the next morning, a lot of fantastic things happened. A lot. Then the next day, the whole hill, what do you call Anandagiri? We came out of the hotel, it's actually slight drizzle on it. But as we drive towards Anandagiri, very strange. We saw the whole Anandagiri mountain there. Only that place, like covered with a type of mist and cloud. Then drizzling there, like heavenly rhinos, like Xianjing, like that weather condition together with that mist, or what we call heavenly rhyme type of thing, you can see. Then as we approach, as we enter the Anandagiri side, the whole area is like covered with that mist and all those things, and that very light rain. Then we started our chanting, all those things, and it was so beautiful, and that Katina was so beautiful. A lot of things happened, and the images, the photograph that Ajahn took, and all those things. That's why all this is like meant to be, and these are blessings that Kayamita will have, because we use our Kayamita to donate quite a lot at that time, and we raised quite a lot of time, the donation for those projects. We also partake in the tree planting, and a lot of other Buddha Rupang that he actually built. He also built this, what they call, the place where you allow people to meditate on, you call it. What is the name? The one unit one, where you can meditate. Kuti, his kuti very well designed, very beautiful. And he managed to get a supplier, the contractor, or the listed company supply him with the material free, to build. That's why the Thai people, they believe in all this merits. They really sponsor him. Then he only need to raise some fund to pay the laborer and all those things. And most of the material is all like people donate, offer. Then he, of course, had to pay for the crane charges and all those things. Construction, what they call scaffolding and all those things. But he did it very well. So all this, I think, is meant to be. So you don't worry that you have not partake, you all have partake a lot. And in years to come, when you continue your cultivation, you will get involved in all these things. That's why a lot of Kayamitta, they also buy Buddha Rupang. That's like Pamasuri have it at her house, then open up the way place for us to use, cultivate her the way. Then in Sampo Temple, remember, we also partake in the stupa built by them. Then we donate to the temple, and within the temple there were so many images, and they even, like those who have the faith and the affinity, you can actually go and look at it. Then which one you want, you can actually request from them either to buy, or most of the time, I think, because they see you so sincere and all that, they actually offer to you free. Because a lot of the images, I think, they also receive. I don't know whether they buy or they were offered to the temples. So all this is what this sutta sharing is all about. So it gives you the understanding and the faith. So do not look down on all this project. You can get involved or partake or be the one that lead all this. It's very beautiful. But don't make the mistake of, like, because you think it's meritorious, you think the 11 meritorious virtue is so beautiful, you born wealthy, won't go down to the willful state, or you devote your life to, instead of cultivation, to building all these type of things. I mean, it's your choice, it's up to you. But there are time to do all this, understand? But the more important one is the cultivation, but that is the one that will really define you. That's why the Buddha in the sutta just now, you remember? He said his feature was so perfect. You know why? He didn't say because he built a countless stupa or Buddha Rupa. He said because of his cultivation, his wisdom. Well, these are the hallmark and all those things that arise. So that is the part I want you to understand. Because I realize human beings, especially non-cultivator or those who have some faith on, they like to do this type of thing. When they hear very good, or they say they want to get involved in all the project that people build, the Buddha Rupang carvings and all those things. You get involved, it's okay, no problem. But don't go all out and forget about your cultivation. To me, you must have a balance. Then when you develop your cultivation, to me, you don't have to worry. All this type of project will come. You will get to partake in all this. You will get involved like this. Like you look at how our Kayamitta Fund have this condition and opportunity to do so much of this thing. Then our Kayamitta trip, we will have a common fund. Kayamitta Fund also donate. Then everything we do on a spiritual trip, which is making offering, cultivation, pay respect and all things, all the whatever affinity that we develop with the great beings everywhere we go, the 4 holy mountains of China we have visited, and a lot more other. even Fan Ching San. We have been to Puto San a few times. Uto, then Utai San, then Jiuhua San. Then there's another one, the Puxian one, what is that? Homage San. These 4 holy mountains we have covered. Some we have been a few times. And they are so beautiful. So wherever we go, the images, the 4 objects of veneration, we will pay respect, we make offering. Then we recall to mind their great virtue, their great wisdom, perfection, everything. Then we rejoice. Then we draw upon the energy that are there. Then their nature's energy also there. So you are the cultivator of the way. You are sensitive. You have the mindfulness. And you can feel them. You can detect them. And they are so beautiful. That's why spiritual cultivation is, to me, most beautiful and most important. If you can have that, it will cover everything. You don't worry about Buddha Rupang, relics, and stupa, all this. They will be there. So all this, you will develop the understanding. Okay? Okay, I think we go back to the notes. I will finish out the last paragraph. Then after that, we can have our second session. So during the first Asankaya Kapas, he encounters 75,000 Sammasambuddha. No? See? That is the first Asankaya Kapas only. He met so many. Then during the second one, he met 76,000 Sammasambuddha. Then during the third Kapas, he met another 77,000. So if he met with that many Sammasambuddha, of course, he must have made more Buddha images than that. Because every sasana, when you met all these Sammasambuddha, means when they are there, when they arise, then after that they have their sasana. So all these are condition and opportunity for you to actually develop the cultivation, develop the what they call build all the projects involved in the Buddha Rupang and all those things. So like he said, of course he would have made a lot more Buddha images than that. Who knows how many he made? That is why his appearance is so full and perfect. But in making images, you should not think, this one is the advice. I will make a Buddha image and then I will be very handsome. Hey, not at all. You need the faith and all those things and wisdom. That's why he continues it. And people will fall in love with me. He said, you can think like that, Susa already. That is not a proper motive. We should cultivate what? Blessings, wisdom, so that in future we can realize Buddhahood, Sammasambuddhahood. So person who have made such images have all realized Buddhahood. So if you partake in this and do all this because of your faith, all those who do all this, finally they manage to become Sammasambuddha. So this is a very good incentive, or what they call strong understanding of faith, to actually drive cultivator of the way to move. It's not difficult, isn't it? If this is what is it, whoever that is involved in all this building of Buddha images on it, the stupa, the relics, all things, you are more or less have all realized Buddhahood. No, means given time, because of your faith, your merits, and all those things. But those who build all this one have strong faith on, and they are generous, and they have the understanding, most of them. That's why you must develop all this. Then a lot of people who don't understand, they actually scared of the Bodhisattva way. I received a WhatsApp from one lady in Singapore, I think one of the Kamitta, who asked me, he said, but he listened to last, I think our last sharing Sunday or not. Was it Sunday? Chin Hao and Eng Bi share. She was like full of joy. She wrote to me, I love that sharing. I heard it and I listened to it. Then he asked me this question, why is it people dare not go the Bodhisattva way? Well, he said, according to her understanding, she wants to find out. She asked me, he said, but I was told, you go the Bodhisattva way, you delay your enlightenment, is it? You cannot become enlightened. And that one is too long and all those things. But what people don't understand is, to go the Bodhisattva way, the true understanding is, you must have gone through the sainthood way and developed the enlightenment phases until Arahant. Then you make the aspiration, the vow. Then you must have the parami to go that way. Otherwise, you may not have a chance even to continue that way. After I explained to her, then only she started to understand. Because a lot of people don't understand. Then like this sutta is very clear. If you have the faith and you develop the cultivation properly, you will definitely get to partake in all the projects that build the Buddha Rupanga. As long as you have the faith, the sincerity, you make offering, donation, and you have the sincerity, the faith, and you persevere, all of them, according to the sutta, finally realize Buddhahood. So is it difficult? No. You must develop the understanding and partake. Of course it takes eons. But going the Bodhisattva way, like I explained to her later on, to people who don't understand, it's like very long. They don't think they can do it. But for those who understand, it's nothing to do with how long it takes. Because that journey is very rewarding and very, very beautiful, wonderful, amazingly wonderful and beautiful. So because of that, I told her, those who don't understand the real Bodhisattva way, the cultivation, they will have a lot of misconception of what this cultivation is. And all this, if you are not careful, it can lead to karmic obstruction. That's why I have an open mind. Don't simply comment when you don't understand. Then rejoice if people have the ability and the understanding to do all this. So do not through your, what they call, narrow understanding, or limited, I should use the word, understanding, or hardly any understanding of the Bodhisattva way, go and comment. That one, please avoid or refrain if you can. It's for your own good. So hopefully, with this explanation, you all can develop the faith and the understanding. Because when you go the Bodhisattva way, when you plant the seed of Bodhi, the 5 stages of Bodhi mind development will give you the understanding, especially when you reach the stage 3 of Bodhi mind development, when you illuminate your nature, when you are able to illuminate your nature so deeply and so clearly. Then after that, the 4th stage of Bodhi mind development, you will know samsara is nothing. That's why you can renounce samsara and go all out. Then during that time, every life you come as a Bodhisattva is so beautiful, so wonderful, so rewarding, so meaningful, because no more issue already. But before that, that's why some of the Bodhisattva, if they don't have the faith and the understanding, before that, they may drop out. That's why not necessarily all will fulfill, because the perseverance is very important, the faith, the sincerity. Okay, so with this I think we end. One or two more things to add. While I go and have my toilet break, I suddenly recall. You all remember Sumeru, Klang, where they invited us to visit their way place. The brother Lim, very kind of him. So somehow we went there, I think 2 or 3 times. We even conducted a short retreat there. Yes, there were conditions. And he also built a lot of stupa. One very big one, I think we visited. The stupa was very big. Then they got Maitreya there, and a lot of Buddha Rupang, the images. Then the whole temple was full of Rupang. And these are great paramis, because he has the parami, that's why he built them. And we also have affinity, that's why we were invited. I also don't know how the condition come about. Very strange. I don't know him. I totally don't know him. But he somehow received some message or what. Then through my classmate came and talked to me, and I say, well, that will be good. So I rejoiced. I say, okay, we will go. Then when we go, I was so surprised. So many Kayamita came. Then the first visit was very beautiful. Then after that, they invite us over to have retreat and all this thing. Then I think we visited that place another 1 or 2 times. I think total about 3 times, if I may recall. Then when I was there, I saw a lot of the clan Kayamitas there. Then there was one lady also. Last time MU on Buddhist Society on Sister Lian Jin, I think I saw her there also. So a lot of these things are like meant to be. Then the other country, they got a lot of this stupa and Buddha Rupang and all the Thailand, you remember? Our spiritual trip to Thailand, apart from China, I think. Then I went with Alicia one trip to Burma, Myanmar. We visited the biggest stupa, the Shadakona. Together with Freddie. That trip was very beautiful. Actually, that was my first and only trip to Burma, because before that there was no affinity. Then I also don't know much about Burma until that trip. I went there, and that was beautiful. Then when I was there, I knew why I don't have much affinity, but the teaching there is different. It's just like in the other places, the teachings are different. So I'm more attracted to my nature's affinity with the teaching, especially Thailand. China is of course the main one. And of course I also travel all over New Zealand and Australia and many other places where we have our spiritual trip and all those things. We have our trip to Perth, I think, on the invitation of Brother Sia and the wife. And also we went over to Melbourne, Australia. Then I also visited New Zealand on a spiritual trip. I brought Kayamita there in the year 2008 and all those things. So these are all very memorable and beautiful spiritual trips. Of course, all of these trips, they have their special condition and encounters and all those things. So okay, with that, we will now start our sharing. Okay.
Brother, good evening.
Good evening.
Brother, and all Kalimitas.
Yes.
I just want to share last Saturday. Last Saturday, I went for a reunion with my Standard 6 school friends. So it was like 38 years ago already lah.
Yeah. So that's 6, of course.
And most of them, at first I didn't want to go because I thought that, actually it is true lah. I cannot recognize maybe more than half of them. And I thought if I go, it will be like, they will be like strangers to me lah.
But you will recognize them on more or less. Maybe it take you a while to recall.
Yeah. When I reached there, eventually I went because there were some other friends who say, "Hey, go lah." Then okay lah, I go lah. Since I know one or two of them, right? So when I went there, only the committee members were there lah, and not all committee members were there. Then eventually they come in, start coming in. So I think the first one who came in was an Indian man,
Oh, okay.
So I look at him, doesn't ring any bell at all lah.
Oh, okay.
Then after he registered himself, he turned to me and then shook my hand, and then he said, "I'm who and who."
Oh.
Then when he say who and who, it strike me, who he is.
Oh.
I actually didn't thought about it, how I can remember him. But this morning when I was in the toilet, you always say like reflect and contemplate. That is very important.
Yeah.
I realized how I recognize him, and throughout that day also, that is how I recognize when he says who he is. The brain kind of like pull out the picture from the past, and that picture, the picture was a picture of him when he was in standard 6.
Oh, okay. Class photo.
Yeah, the class photo. And then from that standard 6, that picture, I compare it to the person standing in front of me. And I knew straight away that, oh yes, you are the person. But of course, this one very fast lah, not like take a picture. I can So a few of them also the same thing. And then there were some like when they introduced themselves. Oh, some of them no need to introduce. I can remember.
You can recall.
I can recall. And when I recall, I also recall some of the things that they did to me when I was in.
Well, these are the one that has imprint in your memory. Well, these are the things that you actually accumulated without you knowing it. Because when it happened to you that time, like you mentioned correctly, how they make fun of you and do all those things to you. That one, you tend to remember certain type of incident. That's how craving, attachment, and very strong what they call emotion build up. Sometimes it's phobia, fear. You meet up with people who bully you and all those things. That's why now you're more mindful, aware, then you can understand all this, how your brain through memory recall all this, and why not other people and all those things. Well, these are the people who has impacted your life while you are in the primary school. In fact, all my classmates in the primary school will be until standard 1 until now. Quite a lot of them. Then, of course, secondary school classmates. But we know more or less each and every one quite well. And then when we meet during all this gathering, there's a lot of fun, a lot of what they call good memories. Means our younger days style so-called encounters and story, especially the teachers also. Yes, every school, I think, everyone, they'll have their own version of their encounters and stories. Sorry, you continue. Zero in on the main one. Manyan, what you want to share on that one will help us save some time because we need to allow Alicia some time.
Okay. So then there was one that I had bad experience. So it also say that, it's written in, I think, Facebook, what she does now, So when I look at her title, she was like head of marketing, So because it wasn't good to me last time, because I dropped it, and when I saw that he was head of marketing, you know what? There was some kind of not very happy in my mind, I was thinking, also can be head of marketing. But then
so you look at your prejudice, how you perceive her and all those things. That's why when you are more mindful, you are observant, you can see all this. But these are the conditioning that we accumulated when we are young. That's why when I saw all those, I actually start to develop the clear understanding that I love way, especially in the early years. Then even up to the university. So there are many things as we go through life we encounter. Then these are the ones that actually get accumulated. Sometimes belief system also same conditioning. Okay, you continue.
Yeah.
Anything
else? After that, because I know that it wasn't a good thing to think like that lah. So then it just wear off, like I didn't pursue that.
Yeah. So don't worry whether it's good or bad. That's not. The purpose of mindfulness or awareness is to be aware that these things surface. Why this thought? Why not other thought? You remember last time I shared with you, my daughter used to recall all this. This is what mindfulness is all about. Where we are aware, then we can investigate why this thought. I mean, it must have impacted you. Why you perceive her like that? Good, sadhu.
Yeah. There were different type of thoughts with different types of people.
Definitely. You will experience them. Yeah. Good. Anything else?
Basically, it was like that the whole day lah.
Okay. Good. Thanks for your good sharing, because this is how memory, and as cultivator, we can learn from all this response to memory. Good. So sadhu, Mayan, thank you.
Good evening, Brother, Mrs. Stu, and all Karamita. Actually, 其实我也没有什么要分享。Actually，我就顺着 Brother Stu 的sharing on 那个 Bodhisattva way，其实当下我们发那个菩萨愿的时候，我们根本没有想过我们怎样，就是照着一个佛陀的。就是诸恶莫作，
对，
众善
奉行，
然后多做善事的意思就是让我们储存那个资粮，对，那个就是那个缘分的东西，然后接着走，然后呢就照做我们应该做的东西，我们的 duty， 然后他走着。然后他就有一点的 understanding 的时候，你就会知道，就说他的 transformation inside 你会知道，所谓的你要走的菩萨道是为众生，对，不是为你自己。那你为什么其实也没有一个我嘛？然后我们为什么急着要去涅槃？其实我们是为众生的成佛。所以在接下来你要走的就是你要 perfect 你的自己的 wisdom， 去怎样的去度化众生。所以再讲下来就不然就讲到的那个。samsara is no more issue.
No more issue.
我开始可以理解，不然就这个意思。因为当你走着，你so called 你有那个 understanding 的时候，你会慢慢的，你会保持一个很清净的心，就是你不会有分别心的去这个好这个不好，你就是保持在中道里面，就是什么你那个是自然的，它是一个自然的 transformation， 你会你不会 arise 就是你不会 arise 那个 thought 说，这个人为什么这样？那为什么
不会的，因为那个是世间法。
对。
The what they call existential Dhamma. That's why duality exists within the existential world. So 那些分别心啦 analysis through the thought 啦 then the what they call reasoning 啦 all those things 这个全部都是那个mundane mind 的 creation 来的 no reality 因为好像你讲final understanding is the unconditioned Dhamma. There is he know you, he know me. And not only he know you, he know me. There is no mark of others too, not only self. There is no mark of life existence. So the unconditioned understanding and the condition are totally different. But to live life, you need the conditioned Dhamma. Then when you understand the conditioned Dhamma, you apply the unconditioned Dhamma to be free from its influence, or what they call possibility of creating any distraction or causing attachment, craving and clinging. That's why I like the fifth patriarch's advice to Huining. He said, this mind, you must know how to use it and not be deluded by it. That is the mundane mind, the egoic mind. So before you have the enlightenment connected, the wisdom of the unconditioned Dhamma, you can be deluded by it. That one is very powerful. It can draw and deal living being. Then the phenomenal world of consciousness and form like very real to you. Everything is like very real to you. That's why what you came to understand is very good. You just do your duty. The Bodhisattva way is because of living being, it's not because of you. But that understanding also comes from the Dhamma that you have realized. But ultimately, he know you, he know me. Then living being exists within the conditioned world for manifestation of the possibility within the conditioned world. So we take the four basic vows of the Bodhisattva. The first vow especially, we vow to liberate and take across all sentient beings throughout the entire existence within the 3 periods of time. That vow is very important, like you said, out of love and compassion for living beings. You take the vow. So that love and compassion is a pure mind, a pure thought that can actually create the conditioning for us to come back as Bodhisattva, means to have a rebirth consciousness not born of delusion. 明白吗? Born of pure love and compassion, because you have that vow. Without that vow, you cannot come back. Because the karmic is like that. Because you have that vow, it has that condition to condition a pure thought, which is love and compassion. Because you vow to do this work. And then that one, because you still have your karmic nature, so the form and this mind, they come together and form the 5 aggregate. Then because of your nature, your cultivation, your perfection, all, you become different. Every life you come, you become different. Every life you come, you become different. And life become like so different, so meaningful, so wonderful, so full of meaning, clarity, and all those things. Then that understanding trigger the joy and all those things. That's why it's very rewarding. And although it's the unconditioned Dhamma, but there is such thing as life, existence, like I always say. The conditioned world, as unreal as it still has its reality, understand? It still has its beauty, because you can come with the understanding of the unconditioned and the conditioned. You become so beautiful. Means you understand life. You know the secret of life. You know how to live life. and life become beautiful, meaningful, wonderful, amazing. So all these things fall into place. Then you are not trapped by it, not deluded by it. That's what the Bodhisattva way is all about, not what you think. And 它是真的 very beautiful. You continue, yeah.
Yeah, 他在世间法里面又出世间，
对，
但是你要在世间法里面悟到，他就是想讲啊，就好像 Six Petra 那个无相士
啊，对，无相士。
我时常的在很早以前我就很喜欢这一句。他说：“若真修道人，莫见世间过。”时常我都会提醒我自己，但是。Brother， 有时我们的 habitual 还是会以一把扯的去度人家，你 know， 就在你什么。
That's why finally 我 advise 你们就是 because after I develop the cultivation, the understanding, I advise you, unless there is condition, don't do anything. 一定要有 affinity， 因为一切为心造。Then 一切有为法 means condition Dhamma. When there is no condition, no affinity, nothing. You don't try to help, you don't try to do it because no point. And that understanding actually protect the cultivator towards the later part of the cultivation. Otherwise 好像你讲了 the habitual tendency 还会 condition 你要take across living being, help living being, 度众生 and all things, which is very true. But the understanding behind is very different. Because like we said, he know you, he know me. So where is there any living being to save? But the conditioned world, suffering is very true. Living beings go through suffering is very true, and countless of them. And that is the reality within the existential world. So, 这个 understanding is different from normal cultivation. But normal cultivation understand, 它就是要 cultivate, become enlightened, free, 没事了。Whereas 菩萨道 the Bodhisattva way, it's not like that. Is to develop extensive perfection and understanding of the cultivation and see the myriad possibility of existence and life. That's why I say that type of experience or life is unending. Means wisdom as you go through existence and life doing the perfection is unending. Of course, finally, when you become Sammasambuddha, you can perfect the understanding of wisdom, means perfection of wisdom, prajna paramita. But that one is different. That one is the perfection of it, finished. Then that one become your nature. But when you come to the existential world, like I explained before, civilization continue to evolve, understand? Then every civilization is different. Then the possibility is different. Then the extent of living beings, they are so different. Different era, different civilization, very, very different. Then different world system, universe, and all things. So all this is like, unless you take the Bodhisattva way, which is, although people say very long, to me it's not really long. You need that great amount of birth and death of cultivation as a bodhisattva to develop the extensive understanding. Without that, you can't. And like the sutta mentioned, Sakyamuni Buddha during the first world cycle, he met up with 76,000 Sammasambuddha. The other thing that I forgot to explain to you is that Singapore Kayamita, you know what she told me? She said, Bratio, to become a Sammasambuddha is very rare and take very long. Means a long time, only one Sammasambuddha. That waiting for your turn can be very, very long. But she don't understand. Because the numbers of Sammasambuddha is also countless, understand now? Because when you are in this field, in this cultivation, existence has continued for so long, and there are so many of these great beings and Sammasambuddha. That's why you look at the sutta, even Vimalakirti Sutta, he met up with 90 million Sammasambuddha. No? In the sutta is mentioned. And he liked to come as a lay person. And that's why all very different. And when you develop all this understanding, you share their understanding, you develop a lot of joy. That's why everyone is different and everyone has his own understanding, perfection, and beautiful story to share. That's why when you go this way, you actually get to understand a lot of very beautiful, wonderful things that you never get to understand. So this is what the Bodhisattva way is all about. Very good, Sadhu. 你要 summarize 吗？10点半了。
Okay, Sadhu brother.
Yeah, Sadhu.
就我想讲的就是，除了精进，还是要精进。
Yeah， 对。
没有其他的。
Yeah。
感恩 brother， 感恩大家，阿弥陀佛。
阿弥陀佛。Let us rejoice. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. With the good sharing by Mun Yuen and also Alicia. So this will bring us to the end of today's sharing, so that we can now rejoice and share merits before beings. Then we will do the closing puja. Akasata cha Bhumata Deva Naga Mahindika Punyang Tang Anumoditwa Chirang Rakantu Lokasasana Ittavata Chamihi Sampadan Punya Sampadan Sabbe Deva Anumodantu Sabba Sampati Siddhya Idang menya tinang hotu Sukita hontu nyatayo Idang menya tinang hotu Sukita hontu nyatayo Idang menya tinang hotu Sukita hontu nyatayo Devo asatukalena Sasa sampati hetu cha Pito bhavatu loko cha Raja bhavatu dhammiko Imina punyang kamena Mame bala samagamo Satang samagamo hotu Yawa nivana patiya Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let's pay respect mindfully to Lord Buddha, Guanyin Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones. And we end. Sadhu.